1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We have our week 12 on the dot live show coming at you with my man Sidekick Picks. How are we feeling this morning?
Good. Ready to dive into some props today.
Man, I am not as hungover as last stream, but maybe I should be because I had a 3-0 sweep, had a profitable show, but I don't know. I couldn't feel any worse than I possibly could last week. So I had my Jordan flu game. That's what I'll put that as. The Jordan
You're thinking
flu game.
clearly. Everything else was you had your blinders on.
Oh God, it was bad. But this morning, got up. We went out last night as well. So feel a little bit better. Like what I'm seeing on the props for the props this week. And we will do our anytime touchdowns as well that have been cashing for the listeners as well. As always, this show is brought to you guys, powered by props.cash. We will show you guys their platform. We use them religiously. Absolutely love it. It's probably my first spot that I end up going when it comes to research. Anything you want to add on props.cash?
It's a great tool. Just like you said, it's the first place I stop and start digging on props. So if you haven't used it before, definitely encourage you to try it out.
And you guys can use on the dot promo code.
They have a Black Friday promo. I don't know how long it goes for, but I saw it on Twitter. It's like 50% off. So
is it? I like it then. So get on that. Make sure you guys can, even if it's for just a month trial, I'm telling you guys, I think it's only like $20 a month, and you get 25% off with the promo code on the dot. It's a no-brainer. We got some comments, and as always, if you guys are watching us on YouTube or Twitch, you guys can leave a comment. Make sure you guys, if you have any questions, throw those in the chat. And then if you're on Twitter, simply just click that retweet button, and that'll show us a bunch of support. So we appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. I can't believe it's already week 12. It's flying by, but we've cashed pretty much. I don't know we'll show our record. I think we're up by up close to 2 units now, 1.4, I believe.
Yeah, we started off a little rocky. Or I did, anyways.
Yeah, but I think we're getting into the groove of it, and we're ready to go. So, got some comments here. Justin says, "Let's fucking go, boys! Let's get after it." And Diggs, by the way, 7 says, "Hey, what's up? How are we doing, man? Appreciate you tuning in the show. Make sure you guys, any questions, hit us up in the chat. It could be fantasy start sit. We'll go over some DFS stacks, any props, any spreads, totals, whatever is on your guys' mind. We are here until 11 a.m. Central Time. We got AV Studios say, let's go. Appreciate you tuning in, man. And as always, I got a free Discord as well, and I don't know how many people actually do have a free Discord, but it's in the link in my link tree on Twitter. So make sure you guys click that and get in. We talk sports all day long. So with that, let's get after the show, and we're gonna add it to the stream here. We're gonna go over week 11. Off my Jordan flu game, I went 3-0. Dak. It's over 254.5, not 254.4 pass yards. Yeah. Higgins over 5.5 receptions. Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards. Swept the board there. Unfortunately, Sidekick, he had Hockenson and Schultz. I don't know how that one didn't cash.
Because they didn't play the fourth quarter.
Was it? Yeah, because it's a blowout, right?
Hit his, and Schultz had 5 targets in 3 quarters, and he had an end zone attempt and missed it, and that would have cashed for us. But He didn't play the fourth quarter, so that hurt. And then Barkley didn't come close to his yards. But I did say to play Slayton separately because he's going to go off, and he had a monster game. So,
and then I even put Schultz for on the Thanksgiving slate. I had a 30. It was like 39 and a half.
Ferguson more.
Oh my God, I was so pissed when Ferguson leaped over that guy. I was like, that should be goddamn Schultz. So yeah, didn't catch that one, but yeah, Schultz has been a little bit disappointing the last couple weeks. CeeDee Lamb went off. Yeah. Almost had that damn same game parlay in the Discord if they would have counted that touchdown. Then unfortunately they did not. All right, so let's get into the show. As always, profitable here, 37 and 29 plus 1.4. So if you tuned in with us, had a little rocky start, we are back in the green here. Inside, let's kick the show off with your first play of the day.
Yep. So I'm going with CMC over 34.5 receiving yards at minus 125. He's playing a shaky New Orleans defense against running backs where they've allowed 14th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Rushing yards would be really good for him today because the Saints don't have a really good rushing attack. However, I'm staying away from the rushing yards just because of how they used McCaffrey last week and with Mitchell. So I'm a little concerned with what we're going to see in terms of running the ball. But if we're looking at his receiving ability, I mean, this dude hits this just about every week. He's hit it in 3 straight. He's hit it in 6 out of 7. Receptions would be a good look. Also, he had 7 last week. He had 4 the week before and 8 the week before that. So, I mean, this is what this guy does. Mm-hmm. He's going to catch it out of the backfield and make something happen. So,
yeah, I'll add to that. It's just a tough matchup when you get him against linebackers. You know, no one can match up to him. It's actually currently at 37.5 on DK. I'm looking at. What would you still take that?
Yeah. The numbers, the statistics don't change in terms of how many games he's hit it consistently. So
yeah, I would take it up to 40. I would take it all the way up to 40. I think he gets close to that number for sure. But no, I'm not worried about Mitchell. Mitchell will kind of take some carries away from him, but he's not going to take any receiving work. And you guys have seen it week after week. He is definitely in the running for some receiving yards.
You shouldn't take the carries from him either. I don't get it.
Shouldn't, yeah. I don't know. Maybe the longevity of the season. Think they're having a little deep postseason run. I don't know. Something along those lines. All right, so let's get into my first play. We are going to go with a dark horse here. We got Kyren Williams over 9.5 receiving yards. Absolutely love this guy this week. If you're playing DFS, this is a great way to get different from somebody because there's a buttload of running back values. So you're going to have Pacheco. You're going to have Jeff Wilson, Rashad White, Antonio Gibson, now Gus Edwards. There's so much in that 5,000 to 5,600 range. And Kyren Williams is 4,900. So, and what this game script is going to end up entailing, they're 15.5 point dogs, which is absolutely insane. But that's just going to be a negative game script, passing. I get it. It's Bryce Perkins under center. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think I honestly think he's going to be able to dump it down even more to Kyren Williams. He's the clear receiving back on this Rams team, and this over 9.5 is just simply too damn low.
I love this spot. I wasn't even looking in this direction, so when I saw it pop up, and I'm a big Notre Dame fan, so if you ever watched him in college, this guy makes plays. So
yeah, and he runs
his hands, and he's gonna do the same thing that, I mean, probably not as good as McCaffrey, but he can definitely get over 10 yards.
And the thing about it is this Rams offense, like Allen Robinson's out, and you got Kupp's out again. So it's Van Jefferson, Higbee. You got Kyren Williams. I mean, there's so much spot for potential here. And over 9.5, I just don't think anybody's paying too much attention to this spot. Absolutely love it. I want to check it and see if it's gone up at all from what I saw this morning. Let's see. Receiving yards. Kyron. It's at 11.5. So people are catching on. So that's good. But I mean, I'll take this all the way up to about 15. I think he can get at least 20 for sure. But yeah, I mean, if you want to take his receptions too, his receptions are over 1.5.
The Rams
minus
are big
155
on him too, so
they love this kid. Yeah. They absolutely love him. So love this spot with Kyron Williams here. Go ahead with your next pick side.
Yeah, so I'm rolling with Mike Evans over 4.5 receptions at minus 115. The Browns receiving defense isn't very good, especially against number 1 wide receivers. They're ranked number 22 against number 1 receivers. And Mike Evans has been smashing this spot basically all season. But he's really come on the last 4 games. He's hit it 4 straight, 9, 6, 5, 5. So going against the weak Browns defense, I think this is a good smash spot for Mike Evans.
I'm going to pull his, what do you call it up? His props.cash platform up real quick just to show you guys. He is an absolute monster. Absolutely love Evans this week. I'm on him to score a touchdown this week as well. As you guys can see, he's hit this in 4 straight. And he's a target hog. You come down here to the targets, 15, 11, 11. 6 against Seattle's pretty low. He's usually up around double digits every single week. So
and he's got Godwin back, and the Browns' rushing defense is terrible. So play action's going to be there. I think he's going to have a big game.
And that's where, like, Fournette being out, I think that actually helps this play because they like Rachaad White, and he's a great play this week in DFS, but I don't know how much they're going to trust him to run the football and run it effectively. So this could be a Brady show where you're going to have a lot of targets funneled to Evans, funneled to Julio Jones, funneled to Chris Godwin. So, yeah, I like this spot for sure to get at least 5 receptions here. All right. So add this back. We'll go to the second play for me. Chris Olave, over 57.5 receiving yards, minus 120 for a unit. This is going against the CMC play. Dalton should be throwing plenty, and this 49ers defense is legit. It's that the linebackers, the line is absolutely lethal, and they can get to Dalton pretty easily, but the secondary's beat up. It's been beat up for a couple weeks now, and it got thrashed by Colt McCoy last week in Mexico City. So I'm all about Chris Olave this week. He's a great DFS play. You got 8.5-point underdogs. Should be throwing it a bunch. I actually have him in a parlay for over 50+ receiving yards. So give me over 57.5. I think he can get close to 75. Maybe even alternate line of 100. He could have a smash spot here. I really, really like going against this 49ers defense, especially their secondary. As long as they keep Dalton upright, I think we should cash this. That's my only concern with this is if they can get a buttload of pressure to Dalton that he's not able to get Olave the ball deep. But I think we get a nice little cash here with Chris Olave.
How do you feel about Kamara again this week? Because his numbers were low again, and I was looking at it.
What is his receiving? I almost went to it, but I was like, I was on it last week, so I stayed off. But let me see real quick. His receiving yards, it's 32.5. And let's go to the dashboard of props to see receiving yards. So this is Olave's. So you can see the spikes, the peaks and the valleys here. I think we're going to get it close to the Rams game with 102. I think he gets 75+ today. And we got Alvin. So right on the cusp. But yeah, he's got those big games as well at 32.5. He had 47 last week against the Rams. I don't mind it. It just wasn't a spot. I like Olave a little bit more. If you went with maybe his receptions are juiced. Yeah. So that's probably why. I was going to say maybe some dump offs with the pressure of the 49ers. But I'm going to go with Olave. He's got 5+ receiving yards or receptions and 4 or 5. Big target down the field. So, give me Chris Olave all day long this week. All right. If you guys have any questions, we got a couple more plays. We'll be here until about 11. If you guys have any questions, if you guys are watching us on YouTube or Twitch, throw a comment on there. And if you are on Twitter, simply hit that retweet button. We appreciate you guys tuning in wherever you guys are watching. Let's get our third play of the week, Side.
So I'm rolling with Christian Kirk over 5.5 receptions, and we got this at a pretty good spot at plus 125. So facing the Chiefs here, and the Chiefs have the 6th worst defense against slot receivers, and that's where Christian Kirk plays. So I think he's going to have a monster game. He's obviously the number 1 target here. Last week, he had 9 receptions on 12 targets. The week before, he had 8 receptions on 9 targets. So this is just a guy that gets a lot of targets. He's going to haul them in, and I think they're going to have to play catch-up quite a bit today facing that explosive Chiefs offense. So we should see a lot of action from Christian Kirk.
With the Ravens offense, we got
I'm sorry. Yep, Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens, yeah. And if you guys tune into my YouTube show on Friday or YouTube video, I actually took the under in this game because I think it's going to be a dog fight. But I think the pressure of the Ravens defense here, it's legit. I really like this angle here, and I'll pull up props.cash as well. You see Christian Kirk is finally being that number 1 receiver that they paid him to be. He's gotten over 7 in the last 3 or 4, and plus money here. I think it's a really good spot, especially if the Ravens get to Lawrence and he has to dump it off and get a lot more little dink and dunk receptions here for Christian Kirk. Another spot here you could go is Evan Ingram. I know he hasn't produced the last couple days.
I was looking at his angle, and I was a little worried with him just because of his recent production.
Yeah, that's the only thing here. But you've seen the production in past weeks that you can sneak by. But I do love the angle here of Christian Kirk. I don't think we're chasing past success. I think we're definitely projecting the same thing moving forward. So I like that a lot. Croatia, what does Justin say? Croatia just took the lead. Crazy first half. I guess he's talking about the World Cup. I don't know anything about the World Cup except for that the USA tied England. So that was good, I guess. I don't know what ties do. You been watching the World Cup?
I bet the World Cup.
You did.
FanDuel was giving me a free bet, so I went ahead and did that on USA.
What did you have them to tie or win?
Win.
To win? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Had to. It was like plus 600 for a free bet.
Got to do it. Always got to do it. All right, we'll get to my last play, and I'm going to take a little play out of Sidekick's arsenal here. I'm going to go with a little same game parlay. So I went with the heavy juiced Jeff Wilson anytime touchdown, which is like in the minus 200s. And I said, screw that juice. And I put it with 80 plus rush yards in a same game parlay for plus 120. You could go down to 70 on DK, and that ends up being like minus 110. But this is just the greatest matchup that you could pretty much put on paper for Jeff Wilson. Ever since he got acquired from the 49ers, he's been their lead back, even with Mostert there. Mostert is not playing today. They have Myles Gaskin being the backup. I think Tyreek Hill is probably the backup running back, if anything. But this is just a smash spot. And this Houston defense gives up the most rushing yards to running backs and the most touchdowns to the running back position in the league. It is just an all-around smash spot. And give me plus 120 odds here for 80 plus. And if you want to even go even further, you can go 100 plus rush yards and get to Jeff Wilson, that probably gets to maybe plus 200 or so. So his ownership in DFS will be a lot. I think it's going to be in like the 40s or 50s. Especially if you're playing cash games, it might be 100%. As he is just the value here is unreal. You don't need to be looking much else at the running back position this week unless you want to get completely different. And like I said earlier in the show, maybe do Kyron Williams. But Jeff Wilson here, smash spot. Give me this same game parlay. What do you think about what do you think about this little angle here? I took a little notebook, little bit of play out of your book.
I like it. I think Jeff Wilson is a definite key piece to this offense, and I'm really surprised that San Fran. I mean, I get why San Fran let him go, but he gives a running game to this offense that desperately needed it. So,
yeah, and you could see, they gave up 152, then 219 to Henry. I mean, 72 to Gibson last week. It's a smash spot. I really, really like Jeff Wilson this week. I don't think anybody doesn't like Jeff Wilson. So just give me to score a touchdown too. He scored in two straight. But, I mean, 119 against Cleveland. I really, really like this spot. So go ahead, put that same game parlay in, and let's hit that one. Any other plays you had some leans on that did make the show?
From the same game, if you're looking at an SGP, you can get Dameon Pierce super low today.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at him for his rushing yards. It creeped up a little bit. It's at 70.5 now. But I was looking at it yesterday. You could get his, it's still there, 54.5 on
his rush yards
for SGP. So if you wanted to take that, and you could take Jeff Wilson over 69.5, and that puts you at plus 120.
So that's not a bad angle there.
Yeah.
Because Houston's gonna end up using Pierce like they've always done.
Right.
His rush attempts
he had one bad game.
Yeah. He's averaged 15, or his last 5 he's had 17 rush attempts. 17 rush attempts. I mean, he's going to get force-fed the ball, even if they are 14-point underdogs. That's just what they do. They don't care if they win or lose, it feels like. Just get Pierce the ball.
So I like that play.
Any other ones? Any other spots you're looking at today?
No, I do like the Mike Evans touchdown that you brought up, and that's plus money.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Chubb to get one too, and his is minus 115.
Yep.
So that's not terrible, but I know the Bucks rush defense is pretty good. So, but it's Chubb.
Yes, Chubb. Yeah, Chubb's matchup proof. I feel like this is another angle that I was on myself. Liked the DeAndre Hopkins. This game in general is a really, really good stacking game. I just don't know. I'd rather stack the Chargers side rather than the Cardinals side because I just want to run it back with Hopkins. Like if I went Herbert, Palmer, and Allen, or Herbert, Eckler, Allen, and then brought it back with Hopkins, I think that's the way to go. You could do Marquise Brown. There's a big question mark with Marquise Brown this week. And with DeAndre Hopkins, you know exactly what you're getting. He's got force-fed with Colt McCoy. Murray's back. So the other angle here was the over 7.5 receptions for DeAndre. He's hitting 4 or 5. Just gets an absolutely target hog. Let's see what his targets are. I mean, averaging 12 for the last 5 games. Has eclipsed close or over 14 in 2 of the last 5. So he's heavily involved. If you actually waited on him or for that 6-game suspension, you've gotten a nice little boost to your fantasy team for sure. For those who drafted him early on in that regards. But no, give me Hopkins again this week as well.
I got a 2-touchdown play today.
Here we go.
Give me Eckler for 2 today. Plus
Eckler for 2.
It's been 2 games since he scored 2 touchdowns. He's due.
He only could go downhill from this craziness that he was on. And so to get him back on the horse, I like it.
And he has a good matchup against Arizona. So
Yes. Arizona rush yards allowed, rush TDs allowed, top 10 in the league, as you guys can see here on Props I Guess. This is why I love this platform. I mean, it's just every stat that you basically need. It's right here on one screen, and you can say, "Oh yeah, that's a really bad matchup," or "Hey, that's a really good matchup." So super easy, guys. If we have any other comments, questions over props, fantasy start sit, throw them in the chat. We will answer them. We'll be here for another 5 minutes or so. Who is that your pick to click then? Eckler 2 touchdowns.
I like it.
All right,
especially with Keenan Allen back. It's gonna open up a little bit more room for Eckler. So
I am going to go with my man. Where the hell's he at? Here it is. For Scary Terry. He doesn't score very often, but he's in a fantastic matchup against this Falcons secondary that just gets torched by receivers. And I think he's got like close to a 25% target share. Just give me all a Terry this week. He's going to be popular in DFS, but that's okay with me because I think we can get a little bit different with our stacks. You know, get your value running backs in there, get a different stack, and then throw Scary Terry as a one-off in your lineups. I think that is a good way to get up in those leaderboards this week. But also receiving yard wise, I have him in my 50+ prop or 50 plus receiving yards parlay. So he's one of the other guys in there. He's gotten 50 plus receiving yards in 5 straight. Has monster ceiling, and if we can get that for DFS this week, give me all of Scary Terry.
You like any straights this week?
Straight for
like Tennessee's +1, Washington's -3.5.
Oh, for some spreads?
Yeah.
Oh man. Titans intrigue me.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons intrigued me a little bit, but I stayed off. I actually teased them in the YouTube video on Friday.
Washington's coming on right now.
I don't know. I want to fade them. And then
you like the Eagles? 6.5 against Green Bay.
I haven't looked at that game yet. That's what I'm going to do this afternoon because I just focus on those noon slates, noon and 3:30s. And
I got a pick for tomorrow.
No, hold on. Let's just everyone stop the show right now. Let's see. Let's everyone just guess what Sidekick pick is going to be for Monday Night Football.
Oh, I'm gonna hammer it.
Please go ahead.
Colts -2.5.
Of course.
Gotta have it.
Oh, that's awesome. The homer pick.
I had to bring it up one time in the show.
Have to. No, I think it's a good fade spot on that Steelers team. I mean, you're getting a good number, -2.5. Could potentially go to 3 by kickoff, as everyone kind of focuses on that. Yep.
Gotta have it.
All right. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys have any other additional questions, we got Justin saying Colts by 15. There you go.
He gets it.
2 big homers. But no, we'll get up on out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you do have any other additional questions, hit us up in the Discord and just tag us, and we will get on to answering those. So let's actually bring these back up real quick. Go back over what our plays are. CMC over 34.5 receiving yards. Kyron Williams over 9.5 receiving yards. Mike Evans over 4.5 receptions. Olave over 57.5 receiving yards. Christian Kirk over 5.5 receptions. And Jeff Wilson, same game, parlay, 80 plus rush yards and a score. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to get up on out of here. We hope we have another profitable show. See you guys.
Have a good one.